Hello once again and welcome back. This is Brother Teacher. I would like to share with you today in this particular video some information about acid reflux or heartburn, indigestion, some might call it. But first of all, I have to do my disclaimer and say to you that I'm not a doctor, nor am I a scientist, and I am just an individual giving you what I consider to be uh, wholesome information of value that I've studied over the years. And for the purpose of this video, it is necessary for me to give that disclosure and or disclaimer that I'm not a medical doctor. Now, understand this too. Medical doctors have learned from someone else in the institutions. Everyone has learned from someone else before they ever knew anything. Now, wrap your brain around what I just said. Anyway, the subject matter today is acid reflux or indigestion slash heartburn. Now, I cannot, on a scientific level, ever explain to you the way that a medical doctor would explain this particular subject or any other subject on a medical issue, but I can explain it to you as a studied man, a common man, to other common men and women. And that is what I'm about to do. Not attempt to do, but I'm about to do that. So bear with me. And I did indeed leave a video or two for you down below for you to cross-reference my information. And these are individuals that I look up to, but I don't necessarily subscribe to everything that they say in terms of their practice from a medical standpoint, the doctors, that is. But I want you to use your own intuition and your own common sense when I explain this tidbit with you. First of all, acid reflux or indigestion. Look at the word indigestion, prefix in meaning not digested. That's when your food is not digested. Okay, or heartburn. Your heart never burns. It is just a sensation in that area from your esophagus. Okay, it just feels like it's in that area, hence the term heartburn. It's just a common term that people use when they have an acid indigestion, if you will. So when you have acid reflux, what is happening is that your stomach acid is leaving the stomach and it's going up into the esophagus, and you receive a burning sensation. That is the acid from your stomach. Understand this. Your acid is supposed to remain in your stomach. Stomach acid, hydrochloric acid, if you will, is supposed to stay in the stomach. It is never supposed to leave the stomach. That is a sacred place for digestion, for the finalization of breaking down of the food that you ingest. So once your food reaches your stomach, that is the furnace that burns it up and prepares it for assimilation and absorption, if you will, into the bloodstream. That which is nutritional, I should say. So how is this acid getting up into the esophagus? There's a valve up there. Okay, oftentimes when people are overweight or obese, if your stomach is sitting in a certain area in your body and you gain weight, that weight oftentimes pushes up on the stomach and it causes that valve to open prematurely, and then the acid in the stomach escapes into the lower part of the esophagus, and then you get the burning sensation. And if you've ever thrown up food, regurgitated, and it's not been a lot of food, but it would be yellowish in color, that's your stomach acid. You usually also feel the symptom of burning when you're throwing up. Okay, not all of the time, but sometimes. So again, when you're overweight, your stomach can push up against the stomach and causing the stomach to compress on the lower end and it pushes the gastric acids up and out of the valve that's not supposed to be open in the first place, not going that direction up. Okay, so that's where you get the heartburn or the indigestion or the acid reflux. And another way that you can have that issue is when you eat right before you go to bed. You're not supposed to eat a heavy meal or even a moderate meal and then go right to bed, because your body is in the process of breaking that food down, and then your acid is going to be at its peak, churning that food, trying to break it down. And when you're lying down, your body's lying down, that acid is going to start flowing towards the valve at the lower part of your esophagus, and it's going to allow that acid to escape into the esophagus, and you're going to have what we term as indigestion, acid reflux, or heartburn again. Also, eating a lot of acid-based foods like some citric foods for some people, and tomato-based foods like pizza sauces, spaghetti, anything that has pasta, sauce, and so forth. Most of it is based on tomatoes, which is very acidic in its nature, and that can cause acid reflux as well. And you want to try to avoid that as much as possible. And again, if you're going to eat, try not to eat at least 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. So you're going to have a problem. And anytime you eat a lot of spicy foods and you lie down on that stuff, especially, it's going to leak into your esophagus, and you're going to have that indigestion issue and that heartburn. So I know I did say that I'm not going to sound like the typical scientist or the doctor and the medical doctor in my explanation of this, but I'm telling you the truth. So this is the focal point of this video, what you should not take. Ladies and gentlemen, don't take antacids. Look at the word anti. It means against. Acid. Antacids do what? They stop the production of acid in the stomach. Do you want that to happen? You never really thought about it? You don't want that to happen. I know. Many commercials have been produced over the years with two main components or products: Rolaids and Tums, and the rest of them trickle down from there. But Rolaids and Tums are dangerous. They work, they absorb acid, but they are dangerous to you and to me and to anyone else. Why, brother teacher, you might ask? I just forestated, if you read between the lines, it is an anti-acid. Okay, let's back up. What is an anti-acid? It stops your stomach from producing acid. Why in the world would you stop your stomach from producing acid when your stomach is supposed to have acid to break down food? When you take Tums and Rolaids and even prescription drugs that inhibit the production of stomach acid, you have stopped your body from being able to break down food. And when you stop your body from being able to break down food, your food that you're ingesting is going to rot in your stomach, thereby causing other conditions such as irritable bowel syndrome and ulcers, skin lesions. Various other conditions are the result of stopping the natural processes of your body. So, brother teacher, what is the answer then if I shouldn't take Tums and Rolaids and all of these other antacids and even prescription drugs to inhibit my stomach acid? The resolution is really simple. First of all, make sure that you take a high quality salt, not the table salt you buy in the store, in the grocery store, like Kroger's or wherever you shop at. That's not real salt. In other words, that salt does not carry or contain all of the necessary nutrients and or minerals that your body needs. Your stomach needs sodium chloride. The best sodium chloride that we can find is in your sea salt. Now, there's two that I know of for sure that are excellent for your stomach, and that is Himalayan sea salt. It contains a plethora of minerals that is bio-ready for your body. And the other one is Celtic salt. It's spelled C-E-L-T-I-C. It's pronounced Celtic salt. Those are two great alternatives to the so-called table salt that we buy in the grocery stores. And this helps your body produce hydrochloric acid, your stomach that is. And you want to make sure that you stay hydrated from the standpoint of drinking plenty of water. Before you eat a meal, you want to drink water, 8 to 12 ounces or more of water. I mean, not a gallon, not a pint, but 8 to 12 ounces of water about half an hour before you eat a meal, okay? Because you have to remember, and you've heard me say this in videos in time past, when you're eating your meal and you're drinking water with your meal, you're going to do what? Dilute the hydrochloric acid in your stomach. And if you are drinking a carbonated beverage like Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola, Sprite, anything that's carbonated, I can't think of it right now, Canada Dry, any of those types of drinks, even beer, anything that has carbonation in it is going to stop or impede the ability of your stomach to produce hydrochloric acid, and you're not going to be able to break down the food. And if the food can't be broken down, then you cannot receive the nutrition from the food, and then your body's going to end up in a state called being malnutritioned. And when you can't receive nutrition, guess what? Ultimately, at the end of that, your body's going to die. You're going to die. It's real simple, right? I hope you got it. But anyway, hold on one second. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Celtic sea salt. Okay? Celtic sea salt. Now, you can look it up. It's organic. It's natural. And that's one step that I would take if I were you and you're not producing enough hydrochloric acid in your stomach. And oftentimes you have acid reflux because you don't have enough sodium chloride in your stomach or in your system to produce hydrochloric acid. You don't have enough. And a lot of times that causes acid reflux because there's not enough hydrochloric acid to break down your food. And I guarantee you a significant amount of people are not getting enough salt or hydrochloric, not hydrochloric, but sodium chloride in their diet. And that's one of the reasons that they're having a problem with indigestion in the first place. And don't forget, as I said before, indigestion is not digestion. It's non-digestion. It is the state that you're in where your body can't digest the food. It hasn't digested the food. And in order for it to digest the food, it has to have the proper components. One of those components is sodium chloride, and the other one is water on a regular basis. And don't forget to exercise. If you have any questions concerning this video or this subject matter, please leave your comments in the comment section below. And excuse me for that last rant on and that little stumbling a little bit, but the point I believe has been making. I'll see you in the next video.